There is movement.
Now that's what I call an easy get off. The boat is already delayed, so.
Hello, friends.
Get into the Spirit. As we get onto the Spirit, I'm excited. Let's go. G'day, we are Bo Maddie and this is Luna. We've ditched the 9 to 5 to chase our dreams of travelling Australia. Come with us as we explore this incredible country. Good morning and welcome to the day that we are heading to Tassie, baby. We're about to get on the Spirit. We're not about to. We're hooking up, ready to leave. Let's just jump straight in to apparently stuff that people want to know. So the terminal has now moved to Geelong. I couldn't tell you if this is the best spot or not, but we ended up coming to
the Geelong showgrounds.
The showground, beautiful little spot. $30 a night, heaps of spots. I think they're getting used to the whole one-nighters and things like that coming in. You can book for half a day if you are leaving of a night. So we're doing a day sailing. We're about to leave in the morning. And then there's obviously that nighttime one, so you can book that half a day. I think that was $15 at the moment, current for this video. Not bad. We're about, I'm going to say 15 minutes away. I don't know about the morning traffic. We did a test run yesterday to see how it went, and honestly it was pretty fine. We are going to take a different road to what Google says, only because I'm not going to drive into the city areas where it's just smaller and things like that. So what I'm personally going to do is from here, you'll only know if you look at a map, I'm going to turn left and then I'm going to try and get straight onto the highway as such. It's just a bit easier, I feel, and because I travel with the old man as well, he'll be following behind and I just want to make sure he's there. So that's my personal preference, and then I have a clear view straight on that highway and I can get in my lane and just chill out. So for me, I think that's the easiest and simplest way, especially traveling in a group anyway.
Yeah, pretty excited. I'm a little bit nervous about doing it with Luna. She's kind of like my biggest worry.
But she will be fine.
She will be fine.
Look, and whilst we're here, why are we taking Luna on the boat rather than flying her?
We were going to fly. Me and her were going to fly, and Bo and old boy do the boat. It was expensive.
To be honest, we got quoted $580 just to fly Luna.
From Melbourne.
And this whole boat trip is costing us $1,100 with the caravans, with all our passengers. It cost us $22 to add Luna. We don't have to worry about luggage. We don't have to worry about people coming to pick us up. So I don't honestly know how Luna's going to go. We've never travelled on a boat with her, but we've been...
She's flown, she's driven.
Yeah.
And she's usually a really good traveller, so...
But we went to the vet. We did grab some calming pills or something.
Chill pills.
So we're just giving her them, and she's pretty zooked with them. She'll just sleep the whole time. So hopefully that's a bit more of a comfortable experience for her. When you're coming from the mainland of Australia and heading on the Spirit over to Tasmania, you do have to give a tablet.
Yeah, so it's, I'll put it here, but some sort of tapeworm that we need to be prevented for, I think. We
better get connected, get into it, try and answer all these questions so you know what it is like getting on the Spirit. Get into the Spirit. As we get onto the Spirit, I'm excited. Let's go. I cut Maddie off with her although, and this is an important announcement brought to you by Maddie.
We did get a message pretty late last night, I think it was like 10:30, that the boat is already delayed, so great start.
You know what the message doesn't say? I don't know if it's due to rough seas.
I hope not.
If you've been watching our videos for a while, I got car sick driving. So I'm not sure how we're going to go on the boat. Anyway, it's starting to rain harder. Let's get into it. Let's get on this boat. Come along with us as we try and answer all the big questions and make that experience easy for you guys moving forward, hopefully.
A new home for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. Unknown man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. sit in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found
That is the first parts done and dusted. You drive straight in, go to that boom gate, and they are there just to give you your tickets and things like that. And then we get this little yellow tag that they give you to hang straight onto your mirror.
For Luna, so for the dog. So they'll put you on a ventilated level platform. It was really easy for Luna. It was all good. She just grabbed the paperwork and checked the tablets and stuff like that, and it was all good to go. So
Sweet. So they give you that, and then we head through. People just direct you to which lane you go into. Then it's your quarantine. We're not allowed to film there, sorry, so we didn't capture that one for you. Hey mate, how you going?
good, thank you. Oh, sorry, no worries.
But you literally just pull up, they ask you the questions, dangerous goods, gas bottles turned off.
One thing we forgot to mention was that because the gas bottles have to be turned off and we have a gas fridge, we turned it off the night before to give it enough time to defrost.
What's under your bed, any fruit and veg, any honey, stuff like that. And we did all the research. We've chucked it all out at the showgrounds there, and that's it. So they did that. Make sure you undo all the boots for them and stuff, and then we just drive up and sit in the lane. We do have a delay today, as Maddie said, so we've got about an hour to kill now, but we're in line and ready. We're the type that likes to be early, so then we can just sit around and know we're done. There is a cafe and toilets available, so if you do get here early and you're worried about that, you can always head in there, chill out.
Can Luna go down to the cafe?
I wouldn't have a clue, but there's people walking around with dogs and stuff like that, trying to get them to go in the little shrubs and whatever on the side. Doesn't look like it's great for little dogs to walk around and find a toilet spot, but there is gardens.
It's happening.
We're heading on the boat.
There is movement.
A few moments later.
So what have we just worked out?
But we've got to go up that ramp.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a great shot of this, but as you can see here, there are actually some caravans parked on the ramp going up to the upper decks of the boat. Now these were actually parked there for quite a while, so Bo was getting a little bit nervous that he was going to have to do a nice hill start with a van on the back going up those ramps. But thankfully,
We're going down, down, down. Oh yeah, we're going down, baby. We're going down, baby.
Who's happy about that?
Me, I just hate manuals going up those hills. I don't know why I've got an accent today.
it was then time to make our way onto the boat. And let me tell you, this was such an easy process. You pretty much drove straight on. The guys inside did an amazing job. They just directed you exactly where to go, made sure that you weren't going to hit anything. And yeah, you just, as you can see, just drive straight up those lines there. Now, we actually got a pretty good spot right at the front of the boat, which, let me tell you, is definitely going to come in handy later on.
All right, so as you can see, we are now here in the family's house and off the Spirit. And this is due to, it was very noisy on the Spirit. There's a lot of people and a lot of music. Yeah. And we can't have that on YouTube for particular reasons, or they bring it down. And we want to make sure you get the answers that you want for travelling on the Spirit, and it makes that journey a little bit easier for you. So let's kick straight off with Luna. It was, don't get me wrong, it was a little bit chaotic. We didn't really know what to do with Luna and stuff. We had that yellow tag, but meant nothing at the time.
Yeah, we had to ask where to take her. Yeah, well, thankfully there was a guy right there next to our car pretty much, and he just said, yep, bring her up here, and we went up to the deck above.
And there's some kennels around there, and it was perfect. He just pointed out which one to chuck her into. We had a little tag that we just stuck around the kennel for her. Mm-hmm. She was not a fan.
She did not want to go in. She
was poking her nose out, trying to get out, but she was honestly fine. The other dogs are so cute. We could have just stayed down there for the trip. That would have been great, but there was enough there and things like that. She was very well kept in there. And personally for me, we heard of other people keeping their dogs in their car or their van and stuff, and that's where they felt comfortable. But to be 100% honest, I know how many cupboards and stuff opened whilst we were travelling on roads and stuff, and I have heard of the Spirit, you know, caravans moving and cars moving. So it, for me, peace of mind to know that she's just fine in her little crate was much better than, imagine if something fell out of a cupboard or something. You know, just that, you just don't know. So
yeah, it was that peace of mind having her in that kennel, and she was fine. She, like we said, she didn't want to go in there, but never wants to be away from us. So that was bound to happen.
So we actually were sat in a really good spot in the end, and we heard security actually goes around every hour or so, say, and they actually check on the dogs and the cars with the dogs and stuff like that. But at least with the cages, they could see them. They could see they were asleep and stuff. Yeah. So it gave us some real good peace of mind, to be honest. We were quite lucky that we overheard
that conversation that, they were all asleep, and we were like, oh, you know, that's where Luna is. So.
And I think we stress about it more than they do. So anyway, they were fine, and it was really good. So how strict were they on lengths?
To be honest,
no one pulled out a measuring tape.
No. When we rocked up to the check-in boom gates, there were some markings on the ground that sort of showed, I guess, how long you were. So they could eyeball it, but nobody got out with a measuring tape like Bo said.
No. So it seemed okay. Don't get me wrong. I don't think if you're going to be like a metre over or, you know, a fair distance bigger, I think you might get pulled up for it because she's quite tight on there. She is booked out.
She is.
For sure. They're not making it up. She's bumper to bumper and they get in as close as you can. So I wouldn't be too stressed on being 100%, but I wouldn't be like just
within the
winging
range.
They would definitely have leeway, but I don't think it's very big. That's for sure.
And on that as well with heights. That was another question with how strict they were on height. Now, we had the boat on top, plus a caravan. So we're obviously going to be over that 2.1 metres, I think it is. So we were always going to be there.
We certainly had a lot of room to breathe with height-wise and things like that. So, don't stress if you've got a boat on top and you're nothing too major. If you've got something over that 4.5 metre mark, I'd certainly be asking the question still. Sorry, I can't answer that. There was nothing to give us any indication. But there was trucks on board and there were their trailers. So with that, whilst we're talking about lengths and parking on the boat, if you feel comfortable to chock your car, maybe do so if you really, really want to. We were fine, but we had quite a pretty good sail, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I have heard of caravans moving and stuff on board. So we personally, being a manual, put it in first gear, put the handbrake on the car, plus put the handbrake on the caravan, and don't forget to disconnect that Anderson plug and your trailer lights, otherwise you might end up with a flat battery.
And if you have a alarm on your car, they recommend disconnecting that or disabling it because of the movement, the car alarms can go off, which means that you may have a flat battery when you get down to your car at the end of the sailing.
That would be funny.
It would be quite funny.
Not if it was you, but it would be funny.
Yeah.
How long was this sail?
So we were delayed, as we mentioned. So I think we left at 12 o'clock pretty much on the dot and pretty much arrived at 11 o'clock on the dot at night. So it was an 11-hour sailing pretty much. So I have heard that it can be as fast as 9. But for us it was an 11-hour sailing. Was
there Wi-Fi on board?
There was. So they have some packages. I'll put them up on the screen now. The Wi-Fi doesn't work in the cabins, so that is only in the communal areas. But it does cut out about halfway through the sailing for about an hour in that dead zone between the two states.
But we did have service for quite a lot of time, to be honest. Probably in that dead zone again when they have their Wi-Fi. We didn't have reception, but most of the time we did have reception. And it was enough to do certain things, not like download a movie and things like that. And they said the same with their Wi-Fi. It is quite an old system, and you couldn't do that sort of stuff with it as well. It was quite basic in that regard and speed-wise. So,
not sure if that'll be changing on the new boat, whether they're going to be upgrading their system or not. That might be something that comes into play. But at the moment on those two, then
Can you shower?
So no. If you're in a cabin, if you've got yourself a cabin, you can shower. But they did a revamp a few years ago, apparently. We did ask. And they said, no, they got rid of the showers that were in the public areas. So, no, you have to have a cabin to do that.
But they're not sure on the new boat. They didn't have any update on that for us. Still a little bit hush-hush. Kept under wraps, the old new boat. But it's very exciting that it's coming. So, was it a rough sailing for us?
Not for us. So for us, it was about a 1 to 2 metre swell.
Yep.
That was actually pretty good. Swell's actually not too bad.
Mate, I don't know if you just heard that, but she just said the swell's not too bad. We've literally just left Geelong. Like, we're seriously still fresh on the boat. Nowhere near Bass Strait yet, so it's not too bad, eh? Look at that.
For us, we did feel a little bit nauseous, but we do get quite motion sick. It was pretty good. We were pretty lucky with that one, considering it was a terrible day. You can see from the footage earlier where it was raining and pretty awful day. So we were lucky that it wasn't that rough. I know it can get rough though.
Can you book a room or a seat after you've entered the boat?
So they definitely recommend you booking it before so that you're guaranteed that spot. But yes, if there are any cabins or recliner chairs available once you're on the boat, there is a little reception/service desk area and you can book it in then.
Yeah, but they said certainly the recliner chairs fill up very, very fast. It's quite a cheap, honestly.
Cheap option.
Cheap option. What was it, like $30?
Yeah, it wasn't
something
too
like
bad.
That. But they said like our one that we were on, if we wanted it, it was full. So
yeah. Especially the day sailings, because I feel like less people would gravitate to those cabins on the day sailings.
Yeah.
But it is definitely worth booking a room or a seat if you are wanting to sleep. Yeah. They did put an announcement over that any of the public areas you are not allowed to sleep for safety reasons.
Yeah.
People obviously did. But
yeah, they didn't police it too crazy,
no.
But if you're in an area where there's a lot of people or it was an eatery, then obviously you're going to get asked to move on because you've got dinner times and people want nice seats and stuff and don't want to be trying to be quiet whilst you're having a kip. So yeah, respectfully they ask you to move on and head elsewhere, but they didn't police it in areas that were quite quiet and stuff like that. So, which was nice to see people still got a bit of a kip. Entertainment wise, what was that like? So
there is a cinema on board, and it's $10 per movie. They have 6 movies in total, so like there's 2 cinemas, one in each cinema, over 3 sessions.
Yep. So up on deck 9, there was a bar that sold pizzas and toasties, and you can get some drinks and also a coffee. They had music playing, and that was quite nice. It was at the back of the boat, quite relaxing, great to listen to her. She was fabulous, and that played on 3 different sessions, I believe, throughout. And they'll inform me on that. And there was also a lady who had a quiz and they had a poetry session which was held in between the movies in one of the cinemas. We didn't attend that one, but we did do the quiz and Google it and we failed. We're originally from Tasmania.
And we didn't know any of the answers. So there is also up on that top deck as well, there's a like arcade games.
I totally forgot about that.
Arcade games, and
we didn't test that out either.
No, it was closed for us, but also on the main deck there's meant to be like a gaming room, like
gambling
pokies and stuff like that, but
it was closed.
That was closed for us. I don't know if it normally is. I have heard of people using it, so
I did want to slap $10 through, which probably is a good thing we didn't. Might have ended up finding our groove and just sat there.
But yeah, that was closed for us.
Yeah, but overall it wasn't too bad. There was a few different eateries, wasn't there? So you had a pantry which had like meat pies, sausage rolls, and a couple of nibblies and stuff like that.
And a couple little convenience store stuff, so it's got like the souvenirs and...
Apparently, we didn't test this, and I don't know why I didn't think of it, but they've got a coffee machine that's self-serve, and that's a couple of bucks cheaper than going to all the other places and ordering a coffee or the likes. We can definitely speak that when you order it through them, is $4.50, but if you want a coffee through the machine, I'm not 100% sure, but they do have that as well, and we have been told that is a little bit cheaper. Yeah. I'm not sure how much, but if you need a coffee, head and just make it yourself.
Yeah. And then there's also, there's the bar that we mentioned on the top deck.
Yep.
There's also a bar on the main deck. And then the pantry that Bo mentioned. And there's what did they call it? It was the Tasmanian Market Kitchen. Yeah. And it's like a buffet.
It was just under $30. Yeah. Like we're talking cents.
Per plate.
Just
and you can put in as much as you want onto that plate. But it is also a one and done. So
It was delicious.
It was delicious.
Oh my goodness. And then on board also, they didn't actually have the booking service on there, but there was a lot of brochures and things like that for Tasmania. And there was actually a section for Melbourne, but I didn't check it out because we left there. So there was a lot for Tasmania and stuff like that, so you can start planning your trip. And there was also a system to book your national parks passes.
Yes.
We didn't look into that, sorry, so I can't honestly help you with that. But this is where you stick around as we explore Tasmania. We're just getting over that Christmas period. We've got family here, so we're having that amazing catch up soon. And then after it, we're diving straight into the Troopy build and exploring this gorgeous island. Because let me tell you, there is a lot to see and do. She's not going to be done in 2 weeks. I can give you the tip on that one. And then we'll explain more in depth about what we find and the costs of things in the next upcoming videos. And then that was pretty much it for the sail. To be honest, I did get a little bit bored after a while.
Yeah.
I'll give you a nice hot tip. The sit room for reading, best chairs,
Yes.
quiet,
The room was good.
and just a nice chill out spot. To be honest, I quite liked it.
Yeah.
Don't all rush there, please, because I would like another seat when I get there. But it seemed like everybody hightailed it and already knew that one, all right? So,
Yeah. I think one other question that we sort of come across a lot was, what were the actual recliner chairs like? Are they worth booking to like have a sleep on?
Yeah.
We personally didn't book one, but the old boy did have one.
Yep.
So we did get him to go in and get a little clip for us, but people seem to be sleeping in there fine.
Yeah, someone took his chair for him and
Yeah.
had a kip in that one. They seemed relaxed, he said. So a lot cheaper than buying the room too, because
Oh, yeah.
the rooms
The
are
rooms are
very
expensive.
So I do believe the chairs are very much worth it, and they book out very quickly. So do so at the checkout, I believe, because
Yeah.
you're going to be much better off for it. And then, I know the question you're all wondering, how did Luna go when we picked her up?
She was bloody excited to see us.
She was very excited.
Hello, Prince. Hello.
She was honestly fine. And then it was just hop in your car as usual. Remember to take off your handbrake, plug in your Caravan again, then just get set up. We were very lucky that
we were number one.
First off. And then we drove straight off, just follow the arrows, and then you come to another quarantine section. Yeah. And they didn't seem that they wanted to go through the car. It was just a verbal, make sure you don't have anything, and this is your last chance to declare and get rid of it. And then off you go, and then just follow the signs. And then you're in East Devonport is where you get off.
Yeah.
So depending on whether you've booked in East Devonport, or if you're going to make the journey on, off you go. Get exploring Tasmania. Get excited about your trip.
We are. We can't wait to explore this area, so...
We can't. We've grown up here and I honestly can't remember it. We always get told about Tassie. We are very excited to explore. We can't wait to showcase, hopefully...
What we can,
what we can see, what we can show you. And let's go into it together. Let's join the journey. It's Merry Christmas nearly when this comes out. So Merry Christmas. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coming on the journey. You're an absolute bloody legend. Seriously, we can't do this without you. And your support means the absolute world to us. Whilst I'm speaking of support, we've got t-shirts, hats, stubby holders, towels, everything over on the website. And you don't have to, but it would mean the world to us if you spent your money with us. Because it keeps us on the road, keeps us on this journey. We can provide the content for you guys and showcase this beautiful country, because unfortunately it isn't free to do so. And that support honestly just goes straight back into trying to better our production and better our videos for you guys. And it really means the world to us. We're loving this journey. Thank you. Catch you in the next one, whatever that may be. But get ready as we explore Tasmania, coming up very soon. Let's get it. And this is me. I keep going to say race course.
Well, the race course is right next to it.
Yeah, I keep getting confused. What are we doing, babe?
We're just trying to get to the top of the boat.
She's leading us astray, mate.
Gone up 3 different stairwells and they've all been the wrong ones. We're off.
noisy.
It is a bit noisy, isn't it?
No wonder they're upgrading the nation to rattle loose. And,